Hello and welcome to the Blue Tweezer channel. Alan from the channel here for our four YouTubers weekend special for you guys. It's a rather impromptu four-player game here we're going for, which is GMT's Versailles 1919 by Mark Herman and Geoff Engelstein. And of course I have the whole war room crew with me. How lucky am I? Yeah. And we have, of course,
lucky or cursed, one of the two.
No, yeah, I'm cursed. You're lucky. I'm cursed. Yeah. And we have, of course, a regular contributor, a regular opponent of mine, which is Rough Swordsman Wargamer. Say hello, everybody. We have the owner of the War Room and all-round good egg. We have IDJester.
Hey, everybody.
And we also have Tony from Tony Board Life.
Wait a minute. I'm supposed to not be here. Wait a second. I gotta go.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's a recording.
Hey, he's just a sub today, anyways. So
it's a sub, yeah. Yeah, we were going to get Mark Herman, but he couldn't make it, so we got Tony instead.
Yeah, I'm such a low replacement there.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just going to talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to do the reinforcements for the Tweeterati to appear. I know there's lots of people already watching, but see if we can get a few more. So I'll just do that for a second.
Yeah, just saying hi to people in the chat. Crossing obstacles. We've got Carl Holmes, Dennis, and Patrick in the chat. Hi everyone.
what should they do, Ruff?
Well, what they should do, if they haven't done so already, is to smash the like button, please.
I already did.
Oh, was that you?
I have to go and get it repaired now. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I broke it. Somebody else got it in before it got broken out.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. It must be working now. We're up to 3 likes.
I'm not inviting you again.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, so we got Versailles here, 1919. And of course, for me, evening everybody, or afternoon everybody, where are you, or morning. Yeah. So welcome and good stuff for you to pop in and say hi. So we'll try and rattle through this. I think I'm the only one who's played this before. Correct?
True.
Yes, you're teaching us all.
Teaching us all, okay. So,
Yeah.
And just to let you know, teachers we're students, so you have to deal with me on that one.
Well, so you've been dealing with that with me, isn't he, for weeks?
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
I mean, the unmitigated disaster, which was the Fields of Fire co-op we did, it sort of doesn't bode well, really.
That was great fun. That was great fun. Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. We won that. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but I probably aged about 15 years.
That's okay for us.
Yeah, I know, yeah. It was a disaster for me. Okay, so Versailles 1919. So this is about, of course, the negotiations for the Treaty of Versailles after World War I, or after the armistice for World War I, and try and resolve a whole load of world issues while sitting around a table and being nasty to each other. So we have already sorted out the board and we've sorted out the players. And so for Great Britain, we have Rough, which is a fairly standard thing. Being a Brit. And also, likewise, standard, we have Jester, who's the Americans, the USA, America. Woodrow Wilson, and Tony is the Italians.
Yeah, because I can't make up my mind on which side I want to be on.
Okay.
So.
Keep your options open.
Yeah.
Yeah. And which leaves me being the French, who I just hate everybody.
Yeah.
Which is probably pretty appropriate as well, actually.
I must say, it's a handsome-looking game.
It is, isn't it? It's very pretty.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
A bit busy in places, but quite pretty. Right, so just to run through some basic stuff before we go on, we have there's kind of two halves to the board. The left half, which you can see, is the negotiation area, where we have a set of decks and we have two regions which are relevant here. One is called On the Table, and the other one is called the Waiting Room. So this represents the direct negotiations. The On the Table area contains the issue on which we are all negotiating or fighting each other about. Okay. There are issues here, which is the landscape cards with the sort of dark grey border on the down the left-hand side. These issues are they have a number of points, which is the big number next to this rather ornate star. So that's their VP value. They have a name, and they sometimes have a region. If we look at Ethiopia here, its region is Africa. And it also has 3 tracks on the side with a title for each one. So we have an Italian mandate, a UK mandate, or an independent. When that issue is resolved, one of those is chosen. And the icons on there are the effects on the game and the players. You can see there's a second one here, which is Constantinople, which is in the Middle East. It's a 6-pointer, so it's worth twice as much as Ethiopia. And again, it has 3 options for resolution. Some of them have 2. I think a couple of them might have 4. So only those 2 issues at the start of the game. Only those 2 can be resolved. They can be settled. Next to them is an event card.
Randomized?
It randomized it, yes. So it shuffled it as
Okay,
part of the
every
game.
turn, or every game will be different. Okay.
Yes. So how you normally set it up is that you shuffle the entire deck. You play out the ones on the table. You play out the 3 in the waiting room. You then take 20 cards and stick it on the deck. You then take the end game card. So one of the issues is called the game end, and it's worth 7 points. And when that is settled, that's the end of the game. That's then put on top, and then the rest are then shuffled and put on top of that. So we have 20 cards underneath the end game and the rest above it. Okay. So also on the table is an event card, and when one of those issues are resolved, that event will kick off as well. And the event is the text below the figure's picture. So in this case, it's Jan Smuts, the South African military leader and statesman. And what's below it says, choose a player. They either decrease unhappiness by 1 or add 2 unrest to Africa. So that's its effect, and that kicks off automatically. That's on the table. So that's really the critical part of the board. We have the waiting room, which has 3 of the issues and also 2 of the event cards sitting there. It's kind of surrounded by the 4 and the 3 here. Okay. And the rest of it is the decks and a little explanation of with some arrows and things like that. We have the draw deck, which is at the top left-hand corner, which is where we get new issues from. We have the discard deck, which is very important. And then we have the event draw deck as well, where new event cards are placed. Then on the so that's all the negotiation area. Then on the right hand side we have a region track. From top to bottom we have a region track. This is splitting the world up into 5 regions: Europe, Balkans, Middle East, Africa and Pacific. And every issue will either have one of those regions connected to it, or something else like reparations or league or something else that isn't one of those. But there won't be any other regions other than those 5 on the issues. What this represents is those zones and what they feel about what we're doing for their with the decisions in their region. And we have a little fist marker, which is known as the Unrest Marker, and that can travel up or down the track, going left to right and right to left. And wherever it sits, if you look at the bottom, there is firstly there's a couple of X's, then it says 6 plus, 5 plus, 4 plus, 3 plus. Effectively, when there is a potential of an uprising in that region, depending on where that fist icon is, a counter is, we roll against that value at the bottom. So if
So
it
we
was,
know I won't be rolling any dice, right?
that's right. The X means that there's no chance. All right. So sometimes those uprisings can happen randomly, or they can be directed by the results. And randomly, you roll a d6, which is down the right-hand side. So Europe is 1, Balkans is 2, Middle East is 3, blah blah blah. If you roll a 6, there's 0. There's no uprising check. All right. Below that, we have a track that goes from 0 to 25. 25 is most of it's sort of this grey-green side, but it's red on the 0. We've each got a counter, which is on the 20 track, and you'll notice there are 5 counters, not 4. There is a 5th kind of player in the game called Japan, who were also here. Dan asks, how can this be played solo? So there are solo rules for it, and that game is quite different from the multiplayer game. It's much more about manipulating the mechanics. I'm not a big fan, to be honest, but it is in the rules and it is available. But it is quite a different game from this. So we all start on 20, including the Japanese, and we can go up and down that track. And this is our happiness track. And if you look back to the issue where we look at Ethiopia, you'll see some national flags, and then you see like happy faces or crying faces or unhappy faces. The unhappy faces are red. The happy faces are green. Don't know why they're green, but there you go. So they force our values, our little marker, to go up and down the track. It can't go higher than 25. It can go to 0, and 0 is a bad place to be. Where you are on this track at the end of the game counts for relative victory points to other players. So there's like a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for where you are on the track, and the happier you are, the higher you up on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. If you're the furthest up the track, you're 1st, and you get 6 points. 2nd place gets 4, 3rd place gets 2, and 4th place gets nothing out of the happiness here. In the middle of that also is a demobilize zone, which you can see there are 7 boxes, and they're numbered 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, and 1. This is for demobilizing military units, and this is the value. Actually, not victory point. Is it victory points or happiness that you get if you demobilize one of your units? And I'll show you what the units are in a minute. Each of the square boxes can only have 1 military unit in. The 1 box can have any you like, and of course that's the lowest value. And the first you can put it in the highest numbered box when you choose to mobilize. That's available. Okay, so the first player will place it in the 5, 2nd, the 4, 3rd, and the 3, and then the 2s, and then when all those are filled, then you just put the rest in the 1 box. Next to that is a sort of greeny box here saying exhausted influence and military. So when you use your influence cubes and also your military units, they will go to the exhausted influence and military box. So they're like a sort of a stock of, and you can get them back by a particular action. Around the board, you'll see a red, a white, a yellow, and a blue area, which has the influence cubes and also the military units, which are discs, and a little area called settled issues. So when you settle an issue and you want it, it will be going to that area of the board as you own it. So imagine if the players, Ruff's actually sitting at the top left of the board, and I'm at the bottom left. Yep. Finally, right at the far right end, we have 5 cards sitting there, which kind of look like the issues, but sort of they're still portrait, they're still landscape, but the titles are at the top, not on the side. These are known as strategy cards. These are extra VP cards, which we will pick during the game to give us further VP bonuses and further aims in the game to get our VPs up, or the ability to not lose VPs. So there can be negatives here as well. So that's generally what we're looking at. That's pretty much the whole board here. So we have a first player, which is Rough. We've decided that before. So when and it basically just keeps going round and round the board. There's no full game turns. There's player turns, and so Ruffle has his turn, then Jester, then Tony, then me, then Ruff, then Jester, and it'll just go round and round and round and round and keep going until the game's finished. Okay, there's no first player change or anything like that. Okay, so what can you do on your turn? Well, there's a few things you can do, but the main thing you must do is what's known as a political action. So there's 3 things you can do as a political action, and say you do one of these. You may place your influence cubes that you have in your stock near your settled issues area, any number, on 2 issues, exactly 2, not 1 and not 3, 2. And for those Monty Python people, 5 is right out.
How many was that?
2. The number of the placing will be 2. Okay,
Yes,
2 issues. Now, when you place issues on a card, you must have the highest number on the card. So if somebody has, say, 3 influence on there, to be able to place influence on there, you need to place 4 or more. Okay, there's never a tie, and you can never kind of sneak in underneath. So it's like an auction bidding on each card. Okay, 15 is your limit, of course. If you don't have any, you can't do that. You may reclaim influence and military. So this is where you go to your exhausted influence and military box, and you can pull out up to 6 influence cubes, and all military. You may also pull any military you want off the region track above the exhausted, if you want to as well. Okay, and that's your political action. So place influence, reclaim influence and military. The final thing you can do, which is where the game kind of goes, wobbly, is you can settle an issue. Now I know you guys were watching a video, I think, about the game there. And I just want to clarify one point. Anybody can settle one of the issues on the table. You don't have to have cubes on it. Okay. When you settle an issue, whoever's got the most cubes wins that issue, and it goes to their tableau. All of their influence cubes go to exhausted. Everybody else who had cubes on there, once you put cubes on an issue, you can't take them off until the issue is settled. Half of those are rounded up, are sent to the exhausted as well, and you get the remainder back in your tableau to be used. Okay. Then what happens is the person who won the issue, not necessarily the person who settled it, gets to pick one of the options on the card. So going back to Ethiopia, they choose whether Ethiopia will be an Italian mandate, a UK mandate, or be independent. And once that choice is made, then the various icons there come into effect. Now the ones with the unhappy face, the red face, there's the ones with the green face, the happy face. Those affect the happiness track. There are also other icons there. For example, on the Italian mandate, that icon there with a world and an Italian flag is an Italian empire strategy token. So you take one of those and you put it on the card, even if it's not the Italians issue. You'd say the French won it, but they pick Italian mandate. You still put that on, and if it's a UK mandate, you would put the British Empire token on it as well. There were quite a few other tokens that you put on. We'll go through it as we go through the game, I think. All right. So once that's done, that card is removed. The next thing you do is you resolve the event card, which is on the table, which is Jan Smuts. Now, normally the person who settled the issue gets to act with that event. Now, that event sometimes is optional or gives you a choice. Like this one, it says choose a player. So who chooses the player? The person who won, who settled the issue, not who won the issue, who settled the issue. Okay. However, there's a trump here. And the trump is, there's a little blue box there called INF, influence. When that card came down from the pair that's above it, actually went from the waiting room onto the table, the player who did that could place one of their cubes on that little blue box, in which case when it's resolved they get the choice, not the person who settled the issue. Okay, so there's a little way of biasing that. Once we've done that, and that's number 2 in the order of what we do, we then pick one of the two event cards above to come down to replace it. Okay, and then you have the option of placing the influence card, whoever brings it down. Usually the person who settled who settled the issue. Also in the waiting room, we've got 3 other issues here. We have the Banat in the Balkans. We have Widows' Pensions, which is a reparations, so it's not a regional. And we also have Slovenia and Croatia is in the Balkans as well. So the person who settled the issue then picks one of those 3 to replace, say it was Ethiopia we settled, to replace Ethiopia and become on the table. Now, when you're placing influence, you can place on the 2 issues that are on the table. You can also place on the waiting room ones as well. But you cannot settle an issue in the waiting room, but you can put influence on them. Okay?
Especially if it's one you want to complete, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's right. You anticipate. Yeah, so it's preliminary negotiations while it's in the waiting room.
And you can do that for the fellas too.
For the fellas, sorry.
The
event cards, no. So you can't put cubes on the event cards unless it's got an influence blue square, and it's the player who moves it onto the table gets the option to place 1 influence marker there. So normally in your turn, when you're placing influence, you can only do it onto issues, not onto event cards. Okay. So what we've ended up is the waiting room will have 1 gap. One of the cards would have moved off. Now again, the person who settled the issue then can replace that card with a new one. He can either take the 2 top cards from the draw deck, which is in the top left hand corner, and pick one of those, or he can look through the discard deck and he can pick the one on the top, the one below, or the card 2 below, and use that one instead. So this is where the discard deck is actually quite important. And you also get to see what they are, of course. So it might be one that you like. Somebody might have missed your favourite issue and you can claim it back. If it's on the top, you can do it automatically. If it's one below, you have to pay 1 influence into exhausted for the privilege. If it's 2 below, then you have to pay 2 influence to do that, and you can't go further back than that at that time. Of course, if you start taking cards off the deck, of the discard deck, then other ones become eligible because you're reducing the size of the deck. Once you've done that, that's settling. That's all that settle happens. So those are those 3 things. Now in a turn, you must do a political action. That was place influence, reclaim, or settle. But you have an option then to do what's known as a military action. And there are 2 things you can do there. You can demobilize. So you can take one of your discs and you can stick it on the highest number demobilized chart. Yeah?
Yes.
And when you do that, let me just check it here. I want to make sure I've done it right. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so you get the amount of happiness that's shown on the box you put it in. So if you put it in the 5 box, you get +5 happiness. Okay. Right. Once you place it in a box, you can't get it back. It's out of the game. Okay, it'll never come back. It's just going to be sitting in the mobilized box for the rest of the game. The other thing you can do is deploy. So what you can do is you can take one of your military units. You don't have to do any of this. It's all completely optional. And put it in any of the tracks on the region track. So Europe, Balkans, Mid East, Africa, and Pacific. And you can put it in any 4 of the rightmost boxes. Okay, so starting with the 1 to the right, the 1 second to the right, third to the right, and fourth to the right. Those are the only ones available. If you place it in the box to the extreme right, you just do it, and that's it. If you put it into the box to the left of that, you also have to pay a penalty of 2 influence and 1 unhappiness. This represents you doing military intervention around the world, and everybody's supposed to be at peace now. World War I is over. We're not supposed to be shipping people around and shooting people, and so you get these problems. If you put it to the third from right, you lose 3 influence and 2 unhappiness, and if you put it fourth to the right, you lose 3 influence and 4 unhappiness. So it's really expensive to do that. Okay. Once you place the marker, it occupies that space. Nobody else can occupy that space with a military unit. You can't double up at all. It kind of owns that space. The further up the track you are from the right, the more kind of influence you have on things in that region. Okay. If you do a deploy and you already have a disc on the region track, you can move it. So you can move it to a different box, but you still pay the new penalty. You don't get anything back from the old penalty, but you can move them around. Also, if you do a reclaim, you can take any or all discs that you currently have out on the region track back in. You can reclaim them at the same time as ones that are exhausted. Okay. So why is this track important? So this track is important because of Unrest. So as we do things, and I'm looking if we've got, yes, if we look at the Banat option, the issue, which is at the top of the waiting room, we can see the Banat could be part of Romania, Hungary rather than Hungary, or Yugoslavia. And now you see some fist icons with a sort of coloured abbreviation next to them, EU or BA. So depending on the option that's selected, the Unrest token, which is the fist token on the region track, moves to the right that number. Okay. And now when that number, when you have an uprising and in that area, and that fist icon is on the third column or more further to the right, you need to roll to see if the place gets an uprising. If it does, then I'll do it very basically here, but effectively what happens is the person who has the most issues in that region settled, his most valuable issue in that section is what's known as unsettled. Effectively, it goes up for bidding again. So once you settle something, it may come back, and then you do a round of bidding. Now this bidding is not not just in influence cubes. The main bid is actually using military units. So you can use the military units from the track on the region track, and they count as if they were double. You can use a military unit from your stock, which counts as 1. And you can also use influence, but influence is like change. So and the bidding starts with the person who had the issue. So say there was an uprising and one of Ruff's issues got unsettled. It goes in the little unsettled issue area on the left, and then Ruff can bid. Say he bids 1 military. You need to outbid to stay in. You can bid 2 military. You could bid 1 military and 1 influence, or 1 military and 2 influence. But military is always more valuable than influence. So say Ruff bid 1, and then goes around to Tony, and Tony bid 1 military and 2 influence. When it came, to Jester, 1 military and 2 influence. Then it came round to Italy, to Tony, and he bid 2 military. That outbids 1 military and 2 influence. The influence are kind of like a tiebreaker only. and then it'll come around to me. We'll get to the point where people either can't bid because they've run out of stuff, or they don't want to bid and everybody passes, in which case whoever won the auction gets the issue. So they can rip the issue off an original owner. Okay, and as you can see, if you have military in that region, they count double for resolving that, for settling that issue, resettling that issue. Okay, they get the card, and then you go through the options again. So you can pick a different option. You can even pick the same one, but the icons count again. It's as if it was just newly settled. Okay.
Tweezers, we had a couple of comments from Greg.
Yes.
The demobilizing military unit increases happiness,
That's
not
correct.
victory points.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't know
Yeah,
if
it was happiness. Yes, that's correct.
And then you actually gain the influence, but you lose happiness when you put the up at the top.
No, you lose
when you
influence.
deploy.
You use influence, and you lose happiness. So that's all penalty. There's nothing good up there. Okay. No bonuses. It's all penalty. All right. What you'll also find is that there's this little barrel with a fuse on it, little marker. That's actually a counter. That
I'm looking at the rules on that one. Sorry.
yeah.
But it says move your influence from exhausted to available for the penalty bonuses and penalties. On page 11, it says black squares.
Oh, you get them, do you?
You move.
Okay, I might have that wrong.
You move that much influence from exhausted to available.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I had that wrong. Yeah, okay, so that is a bonus. Sorry, I thought it was.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, Greg, I got you. I've got the rules up there. So
Yeah.
no worries.
Sorry. Where was it? Oh, yes. So we've got these little barrel icon counters with a little fuse. They're known as powder kegs. And what they are, they're a backstop to Unrest. So when what happens is they'll start off the board. They're effectively off the board on each of the tracks. And effectively that will move up the track. Usually, I believe, when an uprising has happened, because that will move up the track, and then the unrest counter will drop down the track to the space next to it. So effectively, what it does is it blocks the lowest box on that track. It's a backstop, and that can keep going up. Effectively, that can only go as far as the third space along from the left. It can't go any further down the track as a backstop. The unrest counter can go all the way along, but the powder keg can only go in the first 3 boxes. Okay. Anything else?
Well, like, with the powder kegs and the military discs, you're sort of trying to keep that unrest in the middle there.
Yeah, so the well, it will be in the middle between those two. So you cannot stick an unrest on or past a military counter, and also you can't stick it past a powder keg counter. And you'll note that one of the columns, column 4, has a notch in it, and that means that neither military nor powder keg can go there. All right, so that's the kind of demarcation, that sort of centre 5+, column 4. Yeah.
Sorry, I might be a bit dense, but the point of that is trying to stop uprisings.
So there will always be a space for the unrest between a powder keg and a military unit. No matter how hard you try, that box will always be available for it.
So there's always
but it's going to limit the ease of the actual...
Which means it won't shift from there, because you've got the military unit on one side and the powder keg on the other side. Okay.
Okay.
And when did you say when the little fist goes to where? Does that cause an uprising? Where does it got to get to?
Yeah, so it depends on the column it's at, and if you look down at the bottom, there's the sort of XX, 6+, 5+, 4+. That's the die roll you'd have to roll for it to turn into an uprising. So it's in the first 2 boxes, you can't get an uprising. It's only when you get to column 3.
So anytime that moves, when it after it moves, then you roll the die to see if there's an
Yes.
uprising.
One thing that's
okay.
very critical here is if you have a military unit in the region, you can modify that roll, positive or negative. And everybody who has a military unit in that area can do this. So you can fight over that, what the value is at the bottom. Okay, you can't fight over an X. You'll never modify it, but the 6+ could be modified down if you wanted to. So sometimes people
in Jester,
want...
it's not... Yeah, Jester, it's not every time it moves, because it can move other ways. It's only when the event card tells you to do an uprising check.
That's right, an uprising check. Yes, yes, indeed. Yep.
The little fist thing.
Yeah.
On the cards. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, no, the fists move the marker. Anything that says uprising check gets you to do the check. So the fist doesn't give you a check. So, for example, I think we had... Do we have that anywhere here?
No, we don't have any.
No,
like usually, it's at the top of the event cards, not the issue cards. The event cards.
Yeah. So
the green ones.
When you actually, I missed out the 5th step here for settling issue. The last thing you do when you settle issues, you'll have a gap. You'll only have one of those event cards sitting in the waiting room. So you pick the top one and put it next to the other one, but you resolve what's at the top of the card. So there's an extra event at the top. So as you see there with Prince Faisal, control of issue being settled loses 2 happiness. So that's an immediate thing that happens as soon as the card's turned over. Okay, and one time only, and that's it.
Right.
Okay, I think that's kind of what I wanted to go through. Yeah, I think I've pretty much covered everything else, and certainly enough to play and for you guys to get the idea.
Okay.
So,
all right, well, thanks everyone for showing up. We'll see you all next week.
Yes, that's right. We're all done. Cheers. Indeed. So, Rolf, do you want to be brave and step forward to the table?
Yeah, okay. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, but I quite like the look of that issue on the table.
Which one? Ethiopia or Constantinople?
Yeah.
Ethiopia, okay. So you can put any number of influence markers on there, up to 15, of course.
Just resolve it.
No, because you can either place influence or settle an issue. You can't do both in the same turn.
So, can I settle that issue?
No, because
nobody wins because there's nothing on it.
You need to have influence tokens on there. You need to have the majority to say...
showing interest.
Somebody needs to have... There needs to be at least one token on there for somebody to say settle.
Yeah, you're showing interest by putting your influence on there, on that issue.
Indeed, yes. Yeah.
Right, gotcha. Okay. So...
remember, you need to put... If you're doing a place influence, you need to do it on 2 issues, not just 1.
Oh, right.
It's always 2.
You have to do the 2 issues.
Yes.
Right.
None or 2. You either do 2 or you don't do any influence at all.
Okay, I'm going to put... No, I can't. The only thing I don't like about this vassal, when you push the 0 magnifier, it goes so small that I can't see what it is. But...
Okay.
How do I get a cube? Just click on it?
Yeah, just drag it. Just drag it off your stack.
Right, one on there.
Yeah.
Now I've got to look at these other issues. Which one might I want? Widow's pension. Well, let's go and put one on. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. But
Well, that's to be expected, Ruff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no need to rub it in. And I'm going to put one on there, just for the heck of it.
Okay, on the banner, all right.
Yeah.
You want a bit of unrest? Okay.
I do. I want.
Okay. So,
foxes.
So now you can optionally deploy or demobilize one of your military units.
Right. I'm going to deploy. Now then.
You only have 3 of them. Remember?
Yeah. Well, let's bring it over here for a minute. I haven't put it there. I'm just dragging it over. So we can put it. Let's cause a bit of let's cause a bit of unrest in. Brits are good at that in the Middle East, right?
Okay, so you would gain 2 influence, but you lose 1 happiness. So your marker will drop by 1, down to 19.
So how do I get hold of mine? Right, there we are.
Stack there. So.
There we go. So they're like that, right?
Yeah.
And I get 2. Oh, I don't get any influence because there's none in the exhaustion.
There's none in the exhaustion to give you that. That's correct. Okay, that's your turn. Right. So over to Jester as the Americans.
All right.
What you might want to do, everybody else, is just start eyeing up those strategy cards on the extreme right and build an idea of how you're going to get victory points in the game, because they can considerably contribute.
Oh, because those are going to... When do we do that at the...
So at the end of the first uprising, everybody gets to pick 1 card in reverse winning order.
Right.
Just let everybody know, I've got a nice glass of cognac here for the evening.
Oh,
I would have a cigar, but I don't smoke. Smoke-filled rooms. It's cognac-filled rooms. We are in Versailles, after all.
What is on the widow pensions?
Yes.
Like a rifle with an X through it. What
Okay,
does
that means it cannot be unsettled. Well, some of the events say unsettled a military issue. This is not a military issue, so it's nothing to do with land and troops and ownership and stuff. It's non-military. So that's all. It's a kind of definition. So it's not subject to some of the events.
All right. Yeah. Again, I'm going to put 2 there, 1 there.
Okay.
And I am going to not choose to do anything with my military yet.
Okay. Tony.
I am going to put 1, 2, 3 here.
Ooh.
Oh, we want
I'm going to put 3 here.
Ooh.
Oh.
And I'm going to demobilize 1 of my military.
Okay.
And get the 5 happiness points. Oops, not the whole stack. Just me.
Okay. So round to me. Well,
Yeah, cheating.
Wouldn't really want to. Well, Slovenia and Croatia are very much an Italian interest here, as is Ethiopia. In fact, the French don't care about any of them, really.
I was about to say.
I think
There's not much for the French to care about right now.
I'm going to put 3 tokens on Constantinople, and
I think I was a little bit cautious there. Okay.
2 onto the Banat.
2 onto.
And I'm not doing anything with my military. And now it's back round to rough, and that's a turn. Well, kind of a game turn.
So let me.
So you could settle
Yep.
either of those, but you're not going to win them. Now, one
Tony.
thing you can do is you can do deals in this game, and deals which are about a particular thing that happens in a turn, in a player turn, are binding. However, you can do deals outside of that, but they are not binding. So, for example, you could say to Tony, okay, I'll settle that issue, as long as you make it a UK mandate. He's probably going to tell you to bugger off, but you can offer that deal. And if he takes it, he must select UK mandate. What you may also do is say, well, look, I'm going to, if you do that, if you set it for UK mandate, then I'll place 4 cubes into Constantinople on my turn. But on my next turn, he doesn't have to do that. That's not binding. All right. One last thing about deals is that part of a deal is a swap. What you can do is part of the deal is to agree to swap available influence for another player's exhausted influence. So you can, if they got 3 influence in there, you can say, right, as part of the deal, I'll swap my available influence in for your exhausted, and you get them back. So that's the kind of influence peddling you can do.
Tony, I'll let you do that if you go for the UK mandate.
It ain't gonna happen, dude.
Oh, okay. So
you can put another 3 influence there.
I'm going to put some stuff on there.
It's a real fight here.
Yeah. I mean, it's only 3 victory points, but
Greg's got it right here for that that non-military symbol. Is that if there's an auction for an unsettled issue and it's non-military, you can only use influence cubes. You can't use military units. Yeah, thanks for that. I was kind of looking for the particular thing on that.
Well, let's just put another couple on there. I'm running out. Right, there we go. And nothing else.
Okay, no military?
Probably
worth waiting for some issues to be resolved, I would have thought.
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay. Round to Chester.
There's numbers on the cards.
The big ones.
Yes. What are they?
Near the star, they're the VPs.
Okay, so more those in your stack at the end.
Yeah, they all count.
More victory points you're going to have.
Exactly. So the most valuable card is Constantinople. Then it's Widows' Pensions and Slovenia, Croatia, then Banat, and then Ethiopia. Although Ethiopia seems to be causing some very intense negotiations between the Italians and the British. Usually the French would say c'est la guerre, but this is c'est la paix.
Yeah.
I don't really care about any of these.
That's a typical American for you, isn't it, really?
Well, you may want to manipulate. So here's the thing. You're in first place in Widows' Pensions. So you obviously wanted an interest in that, yeah? So what you could do is you could resolve either Constantinople or Ethiopia, and either I win it or Ruff wins it, but then there's a spare space which you can stick widow pensions in.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. And then we would also settle the little dude as well.
Yeah, and you may want to talk to me about Constantinople, about which option you want me to pick. Because, as you say, none of those particularly help me anyway. I'm after the 6 points, frankly.
Move 1 unrest from region of issues being settled. Is that remove 1 unrest from region of issue? Okay, so either Middle East or Africa, we would remove on unrest, but right now there's no unrest.
That's correct.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's give it to the British. Ethiopia. Let's settle Ethiopia.
Oh, Tony.
Damn, I was going to do that, actually.
Are we? Okay, that's fine then. You couldn't give it to the British.
It works out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't care about that much about it. Okay. So,
No, I got my 5 happiness, so the worst I was going to
it.
get down would be down 2. So
Hold on.
okey-dokey.
I kind of saw that happening. By the way, that was like I saw that happening.
Right.
So what's Jester doing? He's
resolving Ethiopia.
He's resolving.
How can you do that without any influence on it?
It doesn't. It can just.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It
As long
has
as
to
there
have
is some.
influence, not
As long
Right.
as there is influence on there, you can do it.
So it's pointless putting influence on cards on the table then, because you can just go, when it comes around to your turn, you can go, right, I'm going to resolve that.
Well, that's what you're after.
Well,
having
you get
the
to
majority.
choose now.
Yeah, you see that.
You still get to choose which one it is.
So you get the option on the card, and you get the card.
You want it. I'm just saying, okay, this issue's done. Let's get it over with.
Yeah.
Get it out of the way. You want it out of the way so you can bring your one down. Right.
That's right. He gets control of where all the cards go now in the resolution of the.
Right.
Yeah. All the stuff on the table stuff.
All these now go into the exhausted.
Yeah. So yours go into the exhausted, and then Tony's. You get. You have to take.
Half back or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's half. Can't remember if it's up or
Rounded down.
Rounded down. That was it. Yeah. So you had 3, so you put 1 in and get the other 2 back.
Yep.
Okay, and then you take the card.
That goes up there, I assume.
Yeah. Take.
Yep.
Yep. There you go. And you now have 3 points.
I now get. Do I get this little thingy, little token here, and put here?
Well, who are you resolving it for? What's the result? UK mandate.
UK.
Okay, so you get a strategy token of the British Empire, and you stick it on the card, just underneath the 3. Is usually the best place to do it.
Where's that?
Up on the top, all the way to the right
There's
before the world.
Right, gotcha.
No, not there. Sorry. It's next to the one that's got a whole bunch of chart-looking things on it.
Yeah, show hide strategy tokens. It's next to the star.
Right, so we want Empire, yeah?
Yeah, British Empire.
Make sure you grab the right empire.
And just stick it underneath the 3 on the card. There you go.
Yep.
So the US loses an unhappiness. It gets unhappiness, and so does the Italians.
It worked out great for me, didn't it?
Yeah, nothing. No, you lose your happiness.
You could have done a deal with him that he picked something else, but he probably wouldn't. But yeah, I mean that's you could have resolved mine. I wouldn't have done anything bad to you.
Right, so now that I resolved that issue,
Okay.
Can I resolve another one or what?
No. So now we haven't finished resolving the issue. So we've dealt with the card. The next thing that happened, we go round from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. So at the 2, we have Jan Smuts. So Jan Smuts now gets resolved. So Jester, you choose a player. They either decrease unhappiness by 1 or add 2 unrest to Africa. So you choose a player to do that.
Now, if somebody has the influence in there, are they the ones that
they
choose
would
it?
pick instead? That's right. Yeah, they would have control of
but
that.
because there's no influence in there,
Because we started
just
the game.
Let's choose Africa, huh?
No. You choose a player. Then that player chooses.
Yeah, but the decrease
Or
happiness by
add-
1 or add 2 unrest.
Yeah. I mean, you can choose yourself.
Why would? What's the?
You get control of whether you either lose a happiness or put 2 unrest in Africa.
What's the advantage?
Why would I want to lose another unhappiness?
Well, you put 2 unrest in Africa. It's not actually that's not a nice thing. You know, either unrest anywhere is usually bad, and you don't want to lose happiness. Unfortunately, you're forced to choose a player who, if you don't choose yourself, you can't lose the unhappiness. Okay, it's whoever you choose gets that choice. They'll probably choose 2 unrest in Africa, to be honest, but you know that's all you've got from Jan Smuts. Great guy.
All right, I get what you're saying. It says you either.
Yeah,
I choose a person, and that person is either going to do one of 2 things.
Yep.
They're either going to decrease their happiness,
Yeah.
or they're going to add 2 unrest in Africa.
Yes.
Somebody's going to probably choose to decrease their happiness. Well, I mean, Italy's really happy, so they might do that.
Well, the interesting thing is that there is an African issue that's already been settled called Ethiopia. So if you nominated Ruff, he might not want to put Unrest in Africa because it may start jeopardizing Ethiopia.
My Ethiopian card.
Yeah.
Right, let's do that. I'll choose Rough.
Thanks, please.
No problem.
He wasn't sure, and now you've steered him.
Well,
thanks.
It was. I'm trying to get everybody kind of the option because it kind of sounds like, well, why the hell would I do that? But I say, there's lots of intricate kind of things here on these cards that can, you know, get you into the mindset.
How things interact before we really can even play.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And I haven't got a clue either, Jester. So you know. So I'm going to go down one.
Oh, there you go.
These French or these Brits are never happy, I tell you.
No, we always moan about the weather.
Well, the rest of us are loving it. It's no problem. He's in last place, so that's cool.
Right, so does that guy move out of there now?
So you just put him on the discard pile.
I just put him over there? Okay.
Yeah, there's a discard option on the menu, but...
Now, who chooses which guy comes down?
You do.
Aha, so...
And you also get the option of putting an influence token on whichever card you push down as well. So you would have control of it next time it's resolved.
Either recoups 4 influence from exhausted or increases happiness by 2. Or remove 2 unrest from the Middle East. I am going to...
You've got John Maynard Keynes or Prince Faisal as your options.
I'm going to bring this guy in. I'm going to put one of my cubes on it.
Okay.
And that's all you can put on, just one cube.
Yeah.
You can't...
But that's it. That's all. That's enough. Nobody else could put one on.
No, I'm saying you can't. You don't bid for those like you do.
No, it's the guy who's moving the card gets a choice to yes or no.
Whoever settles the next issue,
you still get that.
You still get to in charge of that card. Yes. Okay. So we're on to number 3, which is you get to put. You can do this in either order. You get to move an issue down onto the table in the spare space where Ethiopia was, or pick and pick an event card off the deck.
All right. I can do it in either order.
Oh no, so you don't pick the event day. That's later. So the next thing you do, is move the issue down. So if you wanted to move Widow's pensions down, you could.
Yeah, that's the way I'm move down. Yeah.
You need to take your cubes with you.
I will take my little cubes. I thought it would just take them with the card. But
yeah, you kind of have to. If you highlighted the whole card, if you drag around it, it'll take all of them. But yeah. Okay, so that's step 3. Now step 4. So you could take the 2 cards off the top of the draw deck and pick one of those to go in its place in the waiting room, or you could pick for free Transylvania.
I will choose the top
Dracula.
2 cards. How do I do?
You don't care about Transylvania. That's fine. So just drag them off the top, and they should flip over, and just do it again.
I see.
So what do we have? We've got rebuilding, which is a 7-pointer. Ooh,
what a biggie!
And everybody cares about that. Or we've got Vietnam, and me and the Americans care about that.
Well,
You don't care a huge amount about
I'm
rebuilding.
Going to choose rebuilding.
Okay, and so you put Vietnam on the discard. No, on top of Transylvania.
Oh, I see. On top of that,
yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So that's number 4. And number 5 is you pick the event card to replace what's his name, Keynes.
Okay, so that is
drag across.
One. Okay,
yes,
and
I
just drag it over
green
there. Okay,
there we go. All right.
Then what happens with the thing on top?
That happens immediately now. Move all deployed military to exhausted. So the British Army in the Middle East goes to exhausted automatically. No choice.
Wow, Rough, you're having a rough go at it right now.
Man, wow. I'm
He's
sorry,
the only guy
buddy.
with victory points at the moment. He's doing all right. Okay, so that's you've done your political action, which was settle an issue. Now, do you want to deploy or demobilise your military? Seeing as you've
I'm going to deploy.
Deploy, okay. Where's he going?
Yeah, where's he going?
That's a good question. If I could get Vassal to stop bouncing all over the place.
Vassal, you know me and Vassal. This is on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Balkans. Okay.
Oh, the Balkans.
Right.
Oh,
right up there. Okay. So
I'm still
4 unhappiness.
Now, once you take your finger off the mouse button, I'm sorry, it's like chess.
Oh, he's moved to the Middle East. Is this the American paratroop or something? They're just rapid reaction force going all over the place. Balkans, Middle East.
All right, so I lose 2 happiness.
You lose 2 happiness. That's indeed right.
Oh, I'm losing the game. I suck at this.
Okay, and you're now last. Okay, you're unhappy. Least happy. Right. So it's Tony.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and resolve Constantinople.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh,
okay, so
I'll let you do your bit.
I'll exhaust stuff. I get 6 points. Nice. And I will decide.
Just giving him free victory points, Tony?
Yeah, 6 of them.
Yeah, but he probably wants Slovenia and Croatia to come down.
Brilliant move, Tony. Brilliant.
It's quite efficient there. Just for 3 tokens, I get 6 points. Nice. What do we want here? So Middle East. Ooh, Middle East. We've got. Do I want the Americans mucking about? I'm in the Middle East, so I don't really want that. So therefore, it will be Turkish, which is an unrest in the Balkans. So we increase the unrest marker in the Balkans.
All right.
And it's back to you, Tony, for the rest of it.
Well, Jester gets to do
Jester gets to do Canes.
Which, ending with you, each player either recovers 4 influence from exhaustion or increases 2 happiness. So we all do that? Is that...
Yeah, but just as last. So you do it first, Tony. So you get to see what everybody else does.
I am going to go up 1 happiness. I can't go up 2.
He's happy and you know it.
Okay, I'm done.
Sorry, my tokens didn't go into the exhaust box. There we go. That's better. Sorry. Right. It's me next. Mm-hmm. So what is it again? It's happiness by 2, or 4 influence from exhausted. I'll have the 4. I'll have the 3 back. Thank you. I can't seem to group them. Rough, your turn.
Well, I think I will, because I'm going to put my happiness up by 2.
Okay. Jester, your turn.
2. Done.
Okay, you got to send your
your
influence over to exhausted.
Yeah. So the cube that controlled Canes goes to exhausted.
Oh,
I get that. Yeah.
You can right click it, I think.
Yep.
Oh, right click and exhaust. I got it. I see. Okay.
Because I did it, and if it just moves over there, it doesn't go in the little boxes.
Okay.
Well,
Who comes back? Who comes down, Tony?
So technically, when does that happen?
Now.
Because I could get that influence back if it happens before I resolve that issue. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll have a quick look at the.
But you would skip 2 happiness to get 1 influence back.
No, but I mean, maybe later on in the game, something might happen that we need to know how that resolves. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. I understand. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so after resolving the conference event, discard it, and if there was an influence cube on it, place it in the exhausted pool. So it happens after. So you have to pick before.
Okay. So you always lose that no matter what. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know. Good to know.
Okay, so it's W.E.B. Dubois. Exhaust 2 influence to increase 2 happiness. Okay, and that's your option, Tony. So very nice. And you brought down Slovenia Crow, of course you have.
And do you move an event across?
It last. That's what he does last.
Right.
So Smyrna's come in the Middle East. I think the Middle East is going to be interesting here. Second, my Constantinople.
Uprising check +1 to die roll. So is this like a random place or?
Yeah.
Well,
probably.
since there aren't any places that I can actually do an uprising check.
That's correct. Yeah, none of them will work. So don't worry about it.
Oh, it's uprising. It's for any of them that could do it, not just the one. Correct. If you had like 3 of them that are in the opportunity for uprising, you have to check all of them. Right?
Yeah, you stop from the top to the bottom. Yeah, I think that's. Let me just check.
Okay, so that's that. So I did everything there, and then I am going to. Do I want to do a military deploy? Yeah, I'm gonna deploy.
No, you pick the one
Baltic.
with the highest. You pick the one with the highest unrest. If it's not mentioned.
Okay. Okay, so I'll lose 1 happiness. Okay, on to you.
Hey, I've got to run to the restroom real quick. It's not my turn.
Okay, yeah. I'll have a look at what I've got here. What have I got? Okay.
Don't Tony moved into the Balkans there. That influence thing. Does he get?
Oh
those?
yeah, I get my 1 influence back from that.
You
yep.
do, yes.
Thank you.
Me and my big mouth.
Thank you, Ralph.
So, well, I kind of think I've got to put some influence onto widows' pensions.
Yeah, I don't like the look of that.
So, Slovenia, Croatia, the Americans having. Thinking about Slovenia and Croatia here, or maybe just upping Banat a bit. I'll leave her off to do the choice, so I'm going to put 2 more on Banat. And I am going to demob one of my guys. I'm going to go up to 4 happiness. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's my turn. Over to you, Ruff.
Okay. Okay. So, Tweez, you've got if I resolve the widow's pension, yeah.
Yes. What would you like me to do with it?
If you would pick yes.
Of course, I'd pick yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
No good for Tony, that one, is it? No.
Well, Tony doesn't care.
No, I'm talking about looking at Slovenia and Croatia. I mean, he won't. No point me doing that. What have we got here? Hold on, I'm sorry.
Well, I've got your interest. So you either need to vote the Americans or you leave it to me. You need to put influence in there to stop. It's a nasty card for you.
But I can ask you to.
You can resolve it, and it's obvious I'm not going to hurt myself. Well, I might do, but we can do a deal, in which case I'll resolve it if you choose yes for widows' pensions.
Yeah,
I agree or not.
Anyway, yeah.
So you give me the option, I'll say yes.
Okay. I'm just looking up at the Banat there. Why would you want to cause unrest in areas
where I'm not, or sometimes where I am? But I mean, it depends on where do you want to cause trouble, I suppose, is the thing.
Yeah.
Because it'll free up, Ralph, whoever has the highest point card most likely would free up, or there's potential to free up that card. If we were...
Sorry, Karen.
Yeah, so if you did enough in Africa, or if somebody did enough in Africa, and there was an unrest, or there was a revolt, or I can't remember, uprising,
yeah,
you would lose you won it. But if you were the highest one, you could lose that card because it's in Africa.
So, yes, so technically speaking, as I've got the only African card at the moment, I wouldn't want any unrest happening in Africa.
No.
That is correct.
Right, I'll get it. I'm slowly getting it.
If you notice on the Banat, it's got an option for Hungary, which is a Balkan 2 unrest. And seeing as Tony's possibly going to get Slovenia and Croatia, that's quite funny.
Yeah. That'd be quite good. So what I'm going to do then is 2, 3.
Oh, Jester's back.
Back, yep.
He snuck in quietly.
Yeah, watch you guys. He's back.
I didn't want to interrupt you guys. You guys were talking, so.
So I can either not put any influence on, or if I do, I have to do them on 2, yes?
Yes.
So there's that one. And...
Okay.
And I'm going to put a couple... Is there 2... Where's those cubes? It said the Americans have got 2 cubes on it. They've gone.
Don't worry about that. The module goes a bit weird.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, just ignore that. Just look at the cubes.
How do we get our cubes back from the exhausted place?
You do a reclaim political action, which you get up to 6 back and all your military.
Right. Okay, we'll do that.
Military you can choose though, right?
Yeah, you can up to all of it. You can leave them there if you like. But I'm not sure why you would, and you can also reclaim from the region track as well. You can ship them home. Okay, so over to you. Your military then. You're going to demobilise.
I can either do one or the other. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. So you can either settle an issue or place influence.
Well, I think we're okay there then. Right, so military-wise, I'm going to actually put one of mine in the demobilised before all the good numbers get used up. There's 3.
Okay, 3 happiness for you.
Oh. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Well, that's a turnaround for the books, isn't it? Zooming up
on
the happiness track. Great. Jester, over to you.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Do this piecemeal here. So when I add influences, this has to be more than what's there.
Then the person who's biggest.
So I'll put 4 there or 2 more there.
Yep.
And More there? Nope, 3 more. Hang on, gotta grab another one. There you go.
Okay.
And military, I am going to one down here, which is going to lose me 2 happiness.
Yep.
And you get little cubes back or no?
Yes, if you have them. Yes, to.
The exhausted, right?
Yeah.
So how do I claim that back? Can't right.
Just drag it. Just drag it.
Oh my gosh, I gotta drag it up here.
I know, it's awkward, isn't it?
All right, I'm done.
Okay. Tony.
Yep.
Slovenia. What's going on in Slovenia?
1,
Oh.
2,
We want it.
3,
Oh.
4.
Oh. Hello.
Oh, we want it.
And 5 here. And I'm not doing any military.
Okay, round to me.
I think Jester's just trying to pick this just to get me unhappy.
Well, if you put another couple of blocks on that
Why would I do that?
pension, please, I'll resolve it next turn for you.
Resolve what?
Widows'
Widows' pensions.
You've got a
Yeah.
cut.
I'm thinking of resolving Slovenia, Croatia.
What time you fellas think we're gonna finish up? I don't think we're gonna be able to do the whole thing in one
No.
sitting, right?
No.
No,
Sure.
but 5:45, 6 is good.
Was that
Sorry,
another half
dithering.
hour?
Sorry about dithering here. So I'll put 2 more in widows' pensions. And
Really?
I suppose 2 more in Bannock then.
Do you want there so badly, please?
I like Unrest.
Yeah, it's French. What do you expect?
I'm afraid all I can give you is a Gallic shrug. Not doing any military. Yeah.
That's it then, yeah?
Back to you, Ruff.
I'm going to resolve this widow's pension,
Okay.
and you can choose. You're going to choose. If I do, hold on. If I do, you're going to obviously pick yes, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Resolving that then.
Okay. So my 5 go to exhausted. That picks the card as well. Just get them off the card. Oops, not the card itself. Just exhaust.
Oh, these two.
There we go. I get the card. Thank you, Frank.
See.
Oh, we'll wait for you to. Have you done your cubes? Jester, have you done your cubes?
I've done my cubes.
Yeah, sure. Okay, sorry. I was trying to place a card and the map kept moving. Okay, and so the I get an economics German economics marker. Actually, I like that, but
And for the event, which I have, I am not going to do that, as
And-
I don't.
the Americans lose 1. Have you done that? 1 happiness.
Oh, do I lose
1 happiness.
happiness? Oh, good.
Didn't want to pay those widows, those war widows, and EU goes up by 1. Europe goes up by 1. Okay, so the rest is up to you, Tony. Oh,
I already took care of it.
Rough, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
So I've got to now choose a card to come down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rebuilding would be fun as a 7-pointer.
Yeah. Let's bring that one down.
Yay.
Oh. Three cubes. Okay. Oh, well, let me separate them. Try and move them over a bit. Oh, that's better. Right. Okay.
Is that British?
Yep.
Okay.
Uh,
Bring down a event card and stick a marker on if you want to.
let's have a look.
We've got here still Prince Faisal. Nobody seems to like.
No, either remove
Gertrude Bell.
unrest.
Gertrude Bell reduces unrest. So in the Middle East. So
They're both Middle East unrest.
yeah, but Faisal can go either way.
Oh,
Whereas-
add.
Yeah, add or remove, whereas Gertrude Bell is remove.
Okay. And we'll put
Yeah.
on a
Yeah, cool. Let's get the loose cannon. And do you want to stick your marker on? You on
Yeah, it's gone. I did bring one down. Where's it gone? How many we got? How many we got? 15 altogether, haven't we?
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, I didn't move it. Oh, sorry. Right, here we go. Pop it in there. And that's it. Oh, for goodness sake. It won't let me move it down. There we go. Right. And now we bring one across. Or do we do...
Well, hold on. You got to do the issues first.
So bring one of them across, yeah?
Yeah, so you can either pick Sudetenland.
Switzerland. Oh, is it Sudetenland?
Yeah.
Be nice.
Is there
Sudetenland, yes.
Is there somebody below that? I think there is.
Yes, there's 2 cards below that.
Yeah, so you should be able to see those.
How do we
Or you can draw.
If you see where that's got the little star next to the cubes up top, it says show hide top 4 discard issues.
Oh yeah.
So if you click on that, it'll show the cards that you can
Ah,
choose.
yes.
Yeah. So Vietnam and Transylvania. So for Vietnam you'd have to pay 1. For Transylvania you'd have to pay 2.
Well, I will bring to...
Or pick the two top cards off the deck and have a look and pick one of those.
That's quite Britishy friendly, that one, Sudetenland.
Okay.
So I'll bring that one across,
It
I think.
doesn't do much for you.
Doesn't... What are you trying to say? That I should pick 2 cards.
It's two. Well, no, it's 2 unhappy. Well, two of the options are unhappy for you, and the other one,
cool, yeah.
self-determination.
All right, let's do that then.
It's very un-imperialist.
I know. What we got here? No. that's
German
no good.
membership of the League, and
Oh,
German
cool.
East Africa.
Both of those suck.
Yeah.
For you, Ruff.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, you got to pick one of them.
I've got to pick one, haven't I?
Yeah, I like the one with the Africa 2 unrest there, with a French mandate. Hello. That seems like something would be interesting.
No, I'm not picking that. No. God.
Lloyd George playing a blinder here.
There we go. Right.
Now you can do the event.
Now we bring the event across,
Yes.
and it is speech.
Tarka
Romanian.
Ionescu. Move 1 unrest from region of issue being settled. So the issue was the Balkans, wasn't it? No. What got resolved?
Your one.
Widow's pension. There wasn't a region.
Oh, right. Sorry, it was mine. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I thought it was something else. Yeah. So there's no region, so it doesn't matter.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So that's a settled issue. Do you want to do any military?
Nah,
Okay.
don't think so.
Just over to you. Oh, the cubes are flying in. Soaring
Crikey.
in. Croatia.
What's he
Slovenian,
saying?
Croatia.
He's trying to make me very unhappy, I have a feeling.
He wants to win this. Oh, God, yeah. I can see why. And you know what, guys? This game I'm liking more already than Space Corps.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I didn't
Yeah,
like it.
there's a lot of intrigue in this game.
And it's lots of stabbing in the back. I love it.
Mm. He loves it.
All right,
Everybody, he loves it.
Sorry, so cheers.
he loves it. Oh my God.
No, the intrigue and the stabbing in the back. I don't know if I'd buy this game because it's not great solo, but it's great to play with you guys. You know.
Well, have a look at the solo rules. See what you think. It didn't.
Yeah.
It really put me off, but you might like
I
it.
like the look of it. It's got that. It's
Actually-
very contemporary.
Sorry, hang on. I decided to redo this because one of my, I thought I counted them. My cubes came up missing.
You've got one back up where you're
Yeah. Right, I'm
near
done.
your area.
No, I'm not done. I am not done. I got military to send out, boys.
You've got another one. No, can't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it. Yeah,
sorry.
you can't put two in the same region. Yeah. Wow.
And I get
World
to
policeman or
come back.
what?
So what's his strategy?
Yeah, no shit.
So what's he doing? Is he trying just to control everybody?
Well,
You can't remove those, Jester. You can't. You can only do one political movement. Oh, that's right. You put that down. Never mind. My bad. My bad.
Military
My bad.
there.
Yep.
Yeah,
I see what
military
you did.
Okay. Tony.
Thank God.
Gauntlet.
Okay. I am
Gauntlet.
going to settle the issue and because I'm not going to go into that. So for Slovenia and Croatia. So Jester, you
no
won
deal.
that.
No deal. No deal.
Nah.
Okay.
Well.
Okay.
See,
Yugoslavia
got.
is
So
very happy. I think.
yeah.
Would he let?
Not-
If you let him have it, you know, would he do the happy one, for instance? You know, if you let him have 5 victory points, he can only say no.
I made the mistake this time. We'll let it go. I forgot about the dealing.
Okay. Well, he might be nice to you.
We'll
yeah.
let it go,
You
so.
guys, you two guys don't have an issue yet, so maybe it's not worth being too nasty.
Are you done?
Jester.
Yep, I'm done.
Okay. So all the Americans go to exhausted, and what is it? Three Italians go.
Yep.
That's it's not a good outcome.
Okay, Jester.
Do your worst. What's happening to Slovenia and Croatia?
The total dragon thing, or whatever this is.
What's that?
So either they're both independent, Slovenia's independent, or both in Yugoslavia. Which I think was the last
Both in Yugoslavia, please.
Oh. There's just no
nasty.
heart there. There's just no heart there at all.
So that put me back to normal. He's still unhappy.
I am.
Well,
Alright,
there you have
then
it, folks.
I can
This
So you
means
get to-
Tony's normal now.
Yep.
Okay, so
I can take
Slovenia,
my
Croatia,
card.
you get it.
You got that card?
You also get a Germany thing as well.
No. Italian.
Can,
It's not Italian. That's the Italian flag.
yeah, there's a German containment strategy token you
Oh.
get as well. So,
How? What? Oh, that's German. Oh.
Yeah,
wait.
that little sort of strange wiggly thing with two hands next to.
Oh,
Yugoslav.
okay. I gotcha. I see. I'm not used to. That's Germany as one country.
Yeah, that's
Plus-
Germany contained.
Plus Prussia.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
That's Imperial Germany. Yeah.
So only Germany can have that icon.
No.
No.
It's just a strategy token which represents the attempt to contain Germany by.
Oh, okay.
What effectively is happening here is you're giving Slovenia and Croatia to Yugoslavia, so Yugoslavia is bigger and more powerful. So therefore, in the future, they could stand up to the Germans.
Yeah.
If the Germans
So,
ever get uppity again.
Pointing, keeping them in.
Yeah. It's sort of
Peter says that it was a good thing Ruff finally said I love something because he was getting dry.
Yeah, right.
Mate, you need permission. Just drink anyway. I mean,
Okay, and
I
then
am.
Ruff, you get to do the electric or the event electric. Where the hell did that come from? You get to do the event.
Prince Faisal. Yes. Add or
Faisal.
remove. Add or remove.
We're going to add.
You certainly can.
Yes. 2 unrest to the Middle East. Is that right?
Yes.
Yep.
So move the fist
That
mark.
goes up 2. Yes.
Yeah, you can do it on. There's an increase on the menu.
Like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perfidious
That
Albion.
now goes,
Yeah.
that cube now goes into the
exhausted.
exhausted. Oh, hold on. I've got to do it this way, haven't I? Exhaust. The card goes into the discard.
Everybody in the chat following this? Just shout out if you're having any issues here.
I'm starting to get it. Do I bring it down?
No, I do. I get to choose.
Your go, isn't it?
Yeah, he did the settle.
I've done it. I'm finished.
Where does he get to bring it down?
Because he settled the issue.
Because I solved it. I settled the.
You won it, but he settled it. He gave it to
I
you.
get it. Okay, all right. Because he resolved that he gets to choose. Okay, I got it. Okay.
So Smyrna's in.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, a Middle East one, just as the unrest went up.
Oh, I don't like either of those.
German trade or Rhineland?
Oh.
French occupied. Well, French
Good,
annexation. French annexation.
There's no
Lovely.
Union flag on either of those. That suits me. Right.
No, it's 6 and 5 points though.
There they are, biggies. Yeah.
Rhineland. Rightio.
Uprising check. Oh, we've got one in the
Okay.
Middle East.
So the Middle
Okay,
East
I'm
is-
rolling a die, guys, so we know this is going to be a 6, right?
Yeah, so Jester can choose.
But Jester can
choose
choose
to
if you.
add a 1 or
Yeah.
subtract 1 from the dice. Need a 6 at the moment to get an uprising. Currently, it's my Constantinople, which will be in trouble.
Oh my gosh, he just died on us. Oh, now he's back.
Who? We lost someone. Looks like
Who
everybody.
did we lose?
Did we lose?
You and Tony both disappeared for a little while,
Oh.
but you look like you're back now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is he went to roll the die, so I don't know what.
I haven't
happened.
rolled the die yet
Nope.
because you could subtract 1 if you wanted to.
Or add
So
1.
you're rolling for what?
The Middle East.
Middle East uprising.
Yeah, he needs a 6, but that can be modified +1 or -1 or 0 by.
Oh, I see. You
by
have to pick
Jester.
the highest uprising. Okay.
Choose that before he rolls.
Yep. It doesn't cost you anything.
No, it's just your choice. You have control because you've got an army there. Nobody else does.
So, if there's an uprising, what's the procedure again?
Okay, so we look to see who's got the most resettled issues in that region, and
Okay,
the most
so-
the most valuable one then becomes unsettled, and we do an auction.
And right now, Tony, or you own one in the Middle East, and you're the only one.
Yeah, I'm the only one who has one. It's Constantinople. Nobody else
So
has.
we can bring that back open for bidding.
Yes. If you think you're in a position, the fact that
So
you've got
to have an uprising, I want to add to the dice roll then.
yes, so a 5 or a 6 would do.
All right, let's add 1 to it, Tony.
Okay.
Come on, you can
Okay.
do this one.
Hey!
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
So we've got an uprising.
Yeah.
Okay, so
let's just go through.
Mostly right now, I'm just choosing options that we haven't done because I want to see what happens. I don't
yeah,
understand the whole concept until after I see it.
So Constantinople goes into the unsettled issue area.
I just took all those victory points away from you right now.
Potentially, yes. So starting with me, I get to bid on the issue. So I'm going to bid 1 military, and then it's round to rough.
I'm going to bid a military and my last cube.
Okay. Jester, you could use your Middle East army, and that counts for 2 military. And you can add more than that if you want to.
What does the little British ship mean?
What did you
Well,
say?
is British naval dominance. So if it becomes a British card issue, then he can get victory points from that, and also it counts with the strategy cards.
I was gonna say the strategies don't really count. I mean, they kind of do, but it's unless you get one of the cards with the British dominance on there, that's where the points come in. So if you look at the strategy cards, there's a couple that actually have the British dominance on there.
It will also count if Ruff has the card and it's an open city. He will get VPs for it as well.
We don't want that to happen.
But if somebody else has it, but
what happens?
You can pick the open city, but if you win it and Ruff doesn't get the points. It has to be in his area.
Right. Okay. And what happens to the military that are on this if you win or lose?
Okay. Whoever wins, everything you bid goes to exhausted. Everybody else's goes back home.
Sure, I'll bid 2 on that. I'll build my military. Let's see, this is Middle East, right? So do I move my little cube over there?
Yeah.
Token over there. Okay. Bid.
Okay.
Well, that's 2 armies.
That's
right there.
2 armies. Yeah. So you're winning at the moment with two military.
Oh, but somebody can beat you with another. Hang on, I'm not done yet, buddy.
Oh.
Okay. He's going to put.
Could add influence because you still have military they could throw on there.
Yeah. Well, I can.
They would, but
I think I'm the only person who could outdo you. I think.
Ruff is out. Yes.
I'm out now. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
No, he can pull it from. He can technically pull it from the exhausted, and he would beat you because he has the 1 influence on there.
Oh, I can take it from the exhausted, can I?
For the bids, yes.
Ah.
Yes, that's true.
You might want to put a couple of influences on there then.
No, I'll let you guys waste the military.
No, that's not true. You can't use exhausted. Only military is either available or in the same region as the issue may be used.
But I could have swore I read that. Hold on, let me. I got the rules. I've got the rules up here because I remember seeing that.
Enough break already.
Page 13.
It's all right.
Bid for
We'll figure
control.
it out.
Oh, yep, you're right. Either available. My bad. I don't know where I saw that at.
Might have been for
My
something
bad.
else.
You're right.
Okay.
Could have swore I saw that.
Yeah.
Someplace.
So it's down to.
Okay.
Are you done, Jester?
Yes, I would
Yeah.
just bid my 2 military.
Okay.
So it's me,
You
and
can't
I'm
outbid him.
passing.
You can't outbid
Yep.
him. So I'll put my second military.
Well,
And
from the
You
region.
can, can't you? You've got one on the deploy and one.
It has to be from that region.
yeah, it's only just as counted because everybody else is tied up.
Right, gotcha.
And I'll put.
I can see the point in deploying things a bit better now.
I'll have that back. Thank you very much. That's 2 military, 3 influence. I don't think you can do anything about that.
Nope, can't. Nope. I
No, I'm
have to pass.
Okay, so it returns to me. All of mine go to exhausted.
Rough and Jester, you get yours back.
But because mine came from over there, do I get it back over there or back just?
Yeah, it goes back where it was. Yes.
Okay.
Exhausted.
It's the Middle East.
Right, I get Constantinople back, and I choose an option. So, I think I'll go back to Turkey, thank you. And that moves the Balkans up one.
And I put the powder keg. I moved the powder keg for the Middle
Yeah.
East up to the one.
You
so
do, yes. So Balkans go up by one as well.
Okay.
Because they gave it back to the Turks. It should be Turkish. Okay. That was the uprising done. Whose turn was that? That was
the end of. I could still do some military if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think I will. I think I'll put it in the Middle East actually, but I'll just put it on the bid too. Okay, now I am done. So now it's to you, Tweezers.
Okay, so I'm going to do a reclaim, surprisingly. So I'm going to. Just because I only got 1 token. And up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reclaim. There we go. And that's all I can do on the turn. Oh, no, I can do military if I want to. Interesting. Africa, Balkans looks fun, doesn't it? Slovenia. Mind you, the Italians probably want to unsettle that. No, I probably don't want to do anything. No, that's me. Back to rough. Oh yeah, actually, yeah. We have to choose the strategy cards.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. So.
And I get to pick first.
You get to pick first. So just for the chat, we have contain communism, which gives you a point for each empire, 2 points for each communist containment, 1 for each British Navy domination, and 3 each for Japan and this is new for you guys, and Italy, that they sign the treaty. So
game thing, isn't it?
yeah. So you'll note on the happiness track between 15 and 14, there's like 2 little flags. So if at the end of the game the Italy or the Japan flag ends up 14 or less, they've walked out and they won't sign the treaty. And this is so contain communism. You want them, yeah. If they were both signing the treaty, you get 3 points each for those. We have revanchism, 2 per military, 1 per any empire, 1 per British naval dominance, and again 3. So that's very similar. Regional competition. 1 per region with unrest greater than or equal to 4, 2 per military, 3 if both Japan and Italy don't sign, and if you have control of issues in different regions. Then we have nation building, 1 per empire, 1 for British. There's a lot of empire and British Navy here. Yeah, 3
Oh, that's
each
British and American Navy on
for
that one.
non-signing, and 1 for each region. So yeah, nation. So that's just intervention. That's just nasty as well. Isolationism: 1 per industry, 1 per self-determination, 3 each for non-signatory, and a bonus of double for your happiness. So your game end point happiness bonus is doubled. So 4 of them are quite similar, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think there's a big disagreement over Japan and Italy, but they're all a bit. So you've gone for nation building.
Yep.
Okay. So then the Royal Navy gets a bit of a boost there, and you want unrest. Lovely.
Either Royal Navy or American Navy. It doesn't matter which.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I like that one. It
So
can be
next
either or.
is rough. You get to choose the next one.
Look. So, Tony, you've gone for one that's got the British and the American Navy.
Yep. It won't matter which one for me. I can if I get one or the other.
Oh, I see. So if you get one that I can't get because you've won the issue, and it's got that Navy on it, you will still get 1 victory point for it, even though you're not British or American.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Oh, right.
And that's anywhere, owned by anybody, not just him.
Oh, I see.
Because it's the
That is
general situation. As long as the British and the Americans rule the waves, the Italians are really happy.
Oh, right. I think. No, I don't fancy. No. Oh, I'll take communism. Contain communism then. As it's got Winston on the front there. Now, where's my picker?
Strategy board markers are.
They're right there on the side, right here.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, right next.
Gotcha. Right. Lovely. Right.
Okay.
Jester, you're
Jester,
up.
it's you. I'm last.
How come I only see 2 player tokens out there?
Because
there's only 2.
One of them never gets picked. One of the cards never gets picked.
Oh, no, why am I not going last?
Because I've got more points than you at the moment. I've got 11 to your 5. You've got Slovenia, Croatia. I've got Constantinople and Widows' pensions at the moment. So I have 11 points to your 5. So it's reverse winning order.
Oh, that's the cards. Okay.
Tony went first because he hasn't got any points.
I thought we were doing victory track. Okay, now
No,
it's not. It's okay. All right. Now I understand. Okay. Control. What is explain control in different regions? What does that mean?
Control issues. So if once you have all your issues laid out, so if you have 2 different regions in that set, so Africa and Pacific, say, then you'll get 1 victory point.
One for each of the different areas.
Yeah, so if you have 3 different, you get 2. 4 different, you get 4. 5 different, you get 6. So you can spread everything around.
Isolationism, because that's what America's all about.
Very American. It's all about the it's all about the happiness. I don't care about anything else. I just want peace. Everybody to get on with each other and leave me alone. Excellent. Okay, that leaves me with revanchism, which sounds very French.
Yeah.
Or regional competition. So we've got. So Tony doesn't want signatures. He doesn't want even his own people to sign. Rough does.
I have control over that. I'm like, I have control over that.
And okay, so there's two people don't want Japanese and Italian signatures, and 1 does. So I could either even it up, or I could go the other way and just stuff the British.
Hey.
However, revanchism is any empire is very good. So it's whether I had to pin my colours to the British mast or
We know that doesn't happen ever.
Interesting, or the Italian, I think. So
French.
do I go with the Italians or do I go with the British here? I think I will go. That's the same. That's the same. It's the difference between the British or the signing. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go for the regional competition. I don't want revenge. I don't want revenge. I want everybody to just trade nicely. So yeah, regional competition for me.
Right.
Okay. Good. Yeah, done that bit. So it was Tony's turn, wasn't it?
I just finished.
Just
it was
finished.
supposed
So
to go
it's
to you.
so it's
Because
me. No,
yeah.
I did the didn't I? I just did the reclaim, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did. Yep,
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
it's
yep.
rough.
So
Are we carrying on?
Since we're
How we go?
starting at the
Yeah.
first, don't we call
That
it
was-
right here?
Yeah, sure.
yep, I would definitely say yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant
That way
stuff.
we'll know if Ruff's turn, when we start up again.
Yeah,
Yes,
sounds
exactly. Back round to the first player again. Sure. So, just saving the.
And make sure you save it in Vassal. I'd hate to restart.
Okay, it's saved. So, what do you guys think of it so far?
Enjoying it.
Yeah.
Interesting. There's a lot that I'm trying to figure out. So
Same here.
There is a
And
lot
all-
to figure out. It's
Yeah.
very subtle in places, I think.
Yeah.
Very subtle in places.
Well,
And,
I
you
also
know-
think now with the strategies, like we have a kind of a direction of knowing what we want.
Indeed. Yeah.
To get out. I
It's a
think
big
that
thing in the
helps.
game. Yeah. Yeah, but so, I mean, things like that uprising caused Constantinople. No, I got Constantinople back, but effectively I had to do a reclaim. So I lost a turn effectively by that uprising there. So, and yeah, powder keg went up. So and I'm still in the Middle East. So it's not. So even though you can win things back and stuff like that, it can cost. It's all, it's all very interesting. It was that +1 that made the difference. That army in the Middle East made the difference.
Yeah. That was Jester's
Interesting
fault. So
Yeah.
he added his +1.
No,
And we
that's
know what
fine.
happens when I roll a die.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
indeed.
it's very interesting. Enjoying it more, I think, than Space Corps.
Yeah. And as it goes on, it just kind of builds this kind of
Yeah.
tension. Just kind of goes on and on and on, I think. Right.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks everybody for watching us stumble through this, and we'll give another go at an agreed later date. Not sure when it will be, but yeah, we'll get in a huddle and shout at each other, and we'll let you know. But yeah, so just a reminder that later on this week, hopefully with Ruff, we've got some more Death Valley on the channel on Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
up for it? Yeah.
Rebels. Yeah.
Some more hand-to-hand fighting over a farm.
Yeah.
And then, of course, towards the end of the week, we've got the Bleed Tweezers special on the road outside broadcasting initiative here with me at RavenCon doing some live streaming from actually a kind of mini gaming convention in the UK, would you believe?
Yeah.
That hasn't been around for a couple of years. It's the first one been able to get to. So I'll be streaming a couple of times from there live, going through what the games are being played there. So hopefully you can tune in. It's going to be a little bit Heath Robinson, which for the Americans is a bit ropey. I think you guys can understand what ropey means. Probably what Heath Robinson means as well. And quite impromptu, so I won't be able to necessarily give a lot of notice when that's coming through, but certainly from from Thursday up to Saturday. Watch out for that. And of course, loads of you guys have, and you, Tony and Jester, you've got Thanksgiving where you can give some thanks.
Yep.
So,
Hey,
have-
well, I
Eat
wanna
a lot of
thank you.
turkey.
I want to thank Booth Wizard for having us and teaching us the game and showing
No
us how to
problem.
do everything so far. So thank you.
That's great. And yeah, so next
Thanks
stop
again.
Wednesday.
Just saying thanks to everybody in the chat that's joined
Yes,
us. We
indeed.
had quite a few. It was lovely. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and a
Girls.
couple of rules nudges as well. Much appreciated.
Well,
Thank you.
It's always
And,
handy, yeah.
Sure. So we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys, for joining the channel and going through this as well. And I think that's all we need to say. So until Wednesday, bye for now. Everybody wave.
Bye.
Bye.
There we go.